Updates coming in right now. Viewers, if there was ever a fig leaf on Pakistan's jihadis in uniform, it is off now. In a shocking revelation, new details have now emerged about the face of Pakistan's public relations efforts. Reports are now confirming Ahmed Sharif Chaudhry, who is DG ISPR, and the individual is now trying to amplify Pakistan's narrative. Pakistan's fake propaganda has actually deep ties with terrorism. In fact, you will be shocked to hear, viewers, his father was actually in Osama bin Laden's inner circle. This startling connection sheds light on the bloodline of terror that continues to influence Pakistan's propaganda. The son is now pushing Pakistan's lies on the global stage, and that represents a troubling legacy. We have my colleague Pradeep Datta joining us live right now for more on this. Pradeep, this is significant.
Yes, you are absolutely right. This shows that where actually their loyalty lies. And that's one of the reasons that they had been peddling lies against India and trying to glorify terror. Just 2 days back, we saw that when the terror dens were completely decimated and those terrorists were accorded full military honor, the funeral was organized. And in that, during that military honor, we saw that how many of those officials were there in uniform. That clearly indicate that how interwoven the system is, that jihad, there is no difference between the jihadi and the man in a uniform who is said to be the part of armed forces. That's why I often say that there is a complete nexus between military, mullah and mujahid. And that nexus once again stands completely exposed, because when you have a man who is looking after DG ISPR, is heading this thing, and his father had been a close aide and associate of none other than globally designated terrorist Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden is the same person who was responsible for 9/11 attack and also attack in several areas. Now one can very well understand why this man was provided shelter in Abbottabad. When your army is completely supporting them, that's one of the reasons that he had been provided shelter. Look at the things on the other side also. If you look at General Asim Munir, General Asim Munir had also been studying in madrasa. That's why he's called Maulana Asim Munir. And you must have heard that just few days back, he met his soldier. Instead of talking like a general, he was reciting Quranic verses, because he knew the religion is the only way he can keep flock together. So that is what actually clearly indicates where actually the rot lies. And all the process started during General Zia time in 70s, while he was helping United States of America in a war against Russia, then USSR in Afghanistan. They were trying to indulge and engage those warlords in Afghanistan like Gulbuddin Hikmatyar, like Ahmed Shah Massoud. That was the time when they started that Islam is the only way they can fight against all these elements, because they thought that they will use Islam to keep their chair intact and also fight against the USSR. So this clearly is interconnected, and there's nothing surprising and shocking. But what is surprising and shocking is that a man whose father had been the close aide of 9/11 perpetrator, mastermind, Osama bin Laden, and today he is heading DG ISPR. You can very well understand what kind of narrative is going to set up. Definitely he's going to glorify all those terror-related elements.
And yet, Pradeep, we have institutions like the IMF who agreed to fund a country like Pakistan, despite knowing very well how Pakistan is a sponsor of terrorism.